Hello, and welcome to the Watch List channel. Today I want to show you a thriller movie from 2020 about a successful sports agent named Derrick. His life takes a dramatic turn when he has a one-night stand with a mysterious woman named Valerie. What starts as a seemingly casual encounter soon spirals into a perilous and suspenseful affair. The movie name is Fatale. Let's start. Derrick has a gathering with his closest friend, Rafe Grimes, and Rafe's girlfriend, Michaela. During the gathering, it becomes known that Derrick is married to an exceptionally lovely woman named Tracy. Derrick, a former college basketball star, currently collaborates with his best friend, Rafe, in managing African-American athletes. Despite Rafe's persistent requests to sell their successful agency to a larger corporation, Derrick consistently declines, valuing his independence and passion for the job. Tracy works as a real estate agent, and it's apparent that there's a lack of trust from Derrick towards her. Conversely, Tracy herself doesn't appear to be particularly content with her husband. Despite having been married for a long time and seemingly achieving success in life, both of them harbor unhappiness and dissatisfaction with each other, although they never openly discuss it. In the following scene, Derrick and Rafe embark on a bachelor's trip to Las Vegas. Derrick shares his worries about Tracy with his best buddy Rafe. He confides in Rafe, saying he suspects that his wife might be seeing someone else secretly. In response, Rafe suggests that Derrick should try to have some fun and takes off Derrick's wedding ring, even encouraging him to be unfaithful to his wife. It might not sound like great advice from a friend. Following Rafe's guidance, Derrick meets a woman named Valerie. He fibs about his name, calling himself Darren, and tells her he's in town for a bachelorette party, but hides the fact that he is married. When Derrick inquires, Valerie explains that she's in Las Vegas to get away from her demanding job. After some conversation, playful banter, and dancing, they decide to continue their night in Valerie's hotel room. The following morning, Derrick attempts to make a quiet exit without saying much, but Valerie awakens. Derrick can't locate his phone, so he asks her about it, and she reveals that it's stashed in a safe. She offers to return it to him if he's willing to spend more time with her. After leaving Las Vegas and leaving Valerie behind, Derrick returns to Los Angeles and is overwhelmed by guilt for having an affair. He resolves to mend things with his wife. Derrick continues his work and signs another famous athlete. His cousin Tyron, who often turns to him for financial assistance, comes to visit him. Despite Derrick advising Tyron to find a job and improve his life, he still helps him out with money. That same evening, Derrick prepares a special dinner for Tracy, and they share a romantic evening together. Later, as they're engrossed in more romantic activities, they hear some unexpected noises coming from upstairs, which startles them. Derrick heads upstairs to investigate the noise but is suddenly ambushed by a masked assailant armed with a gun. They engage in a struggle, with the attacker attempting to shoot Derrick. Fortunately, Derrick manages to disarm the intruder and subdues him using a golf club, compelling the intruder to flee. Tracy, horrified by the commotion, joins Derrick upstairs, and they promptly call the police. When the police officers arrive, Derrick is taken aback to discover that the lead detective on the case is none other than Valerie, the woman with whom he had the one-night stand and had hoped to put behind him. Valerie recognizes Derrick but maintains a professional demeanor, asking only pertinent questions related to the situation. The following day, Valerie is observed visiting her ex-husband's residence, Carter Haywood, who happens to be a politician. She appeals to him for the opportunity to meet their daughter, Haley. It becomes apparent that Carter has a restraining order against Valerie, harbors strong resentment towards her, and takes every measure to prevent her from seeing their daughter. The reason behind this animosity stems from a past incident when Valerie, while heavily intoxicated, left her service weapon unsecured. Tragically, a terrible accident occurred when Haley found the firearm and accidentally discharged it, resulting in her being confined to a wheelchair. In the subsequent scene, Derrick becomes concerned that Valerie might try to disrupt his marriage. He decides to meet with her to discuss their complicated situation. However, Valerie reassures him that she has no intention of mixing her personal and professional lives and vows to uncover the identity of the intruder. Despite this assurance, Derrick remains uneasy upon returning home. He decides to do some research on Valerie using Google and discovers that she is a well-known officer. Additionally, he comes across information about the incident involving her daughter, which is also documented online. The following day, Valerie collects Derrick from his workplace and informs him that she has acquired a fresh lead in the case. She then takes him to a beach and provides him with binoculars to observe a beach house in the distance. Following her guidance, Derrick gazes through the binoculars and is deeply troubled to witness his best friend, Rafe, and his own wife, Tracy, sharing a romantic moment in the beach house. Valerie puts forward the theory that Tracy may have hired the intruder to eliminate Derrick, potentially allowing her to claim half of the business. given that Rafe already owns the other half. This betrayal and the emotional turmoil that follows cause Derrick to seek solace in Valerie's company, leading to them spending the night together. However, the very next day, Derrick is apprehended at his residence and transported to the police station. Valerie informs him that Tracy and Rafe were killed the previous night, presenting him with pictures from the crime scene. She accuses Derrick of potentially going to confront them in a fit of rage and ultimately committing the murders. While Derrick admits to going there for a confrontation, he vehemently denies any involvement in their deaths. As a consequence of these accusations, Derrick's company experiences a significant setback. Many of his clients withdraw their business, and several employees cease showing up for work. It doesn't take long for Derrick to piece together that Valerie was the actual perpetrator of the crime and deliberately framed him for it. He confronts her about this discovery, but she responds by brandishing a gun, issuing a menacing warning that she could kill him and claim it as an act of self-defense. Feeling helpless and isolated, Derrick reaches out to his ex-convict cousin, Tyron, whom he had always assisted with financial support. Derrick confides in Tyron, revealing that Valerie was responsible for the crimes and had set him up. However, aware of Tyron's past and his tendency to become involved in such matters, Derrick urges him not to interfere and to stay out of it. Tyron responds by stating that he can't make such a promise. Later that night, Tyron is inside his car with his friend Bumpy, whom he has enlisted to handle Valerie with the goal of assisting Derrick and extracting a confession from her. Both Tyron and Bumpy forcibly enter Valerie's residence and succeed in subduing her on the floor. However, Valerie resorts to feigning illness, imploring them to allow her to use the bathroom. Once inside, Bumpy assists her while standing guard at the door. Seizing an opportunity when Bumpy's back is turned, Valerie strikes him in the head with the toilet seat cover. She retrieves a concealed gun from the ceiling tiles and fatally shoots him right then and there. Hearing the commotion, Tyron is instantly on high alert and tries to fire at Valerie. Unfortunately, the tables turn as he ends up being shot by her instead. Subsequently, Valerie reaches out to Derrick and presents him with a solution. She proposes framing Tyron for the murders instead of Derrick, ensuring his freedom. However, there's a significant catch. In return, Valerie demands that Derrick eliminate her ex-husband, Carter, who stands in the way of her gaining custody of Haley as long as he's alive. Derrick reluctantly agrees, and Valerie provides him with a gun, along with specific instructions on when and where to locate Carter. Derrick locates Carter during his morning jog and confronts him with the gun in hand. He tries to warn Carter about Valerie's intentions and seeks his assistance in stopping her. However, Carter fails to comprehend Derrick's words and responds by launching an attack on him. This altercation initiates a physical struggle between Derrick and Carter, culminating in an inadvertent discharge of the firearm, resulting in Carter's immediate demise. In a state of panic, Derrick hastily flees the scene. He returns to Valerie's residence, where she furnishes him with Tyron's firearm, which could be used to implicate him as the perpetrator of all the recent crimes. Valerie then makes a startling admission, confessing that she was responsible for the deaths of Tracy, Rafe, Tyron, and Tyron's friend. She further asserts her unwavering determination to eliminate anyone who obstructs her path to reuniting with her daughter. Derrick begins to grasp that Valerie is willing to go to any lengths, including killing him, to eliminate anyone who could potentially link her to the crimes. He spots a concealed firearm beneath a cloth and hastily retrieves it, opening fire. Valerie retaliates by shooting back, causing her to collapse. However, Derrick becomes momentarily distracted and realizes that Valerie is no longer in the same location. To his shock, she re-emerges from behind and launches a relentless knife attack on him. In self-defense, Derrick is compelled to use his firearm to stop her, ultimately resulting in her death. Following the intense confrontation, Derrick takes a decisive step by playing a recorded confession from Valerie, in which she admitted to her crimes and her motivations. Soon after, the police arrive at the scene, and Derrick goes to meet them, providing the evidence of Valerie's guilt. In the subsequent scene, Derrick is depicted driving through the city. On the radio, Jay and Angie from the Shade Room announce that Derrick has been officially cleared of any wrongdoing. They take the opportunity to offer advice to their male listeners, cautioning them against infidelity and the consequences that can follow. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification, so you can watch more video like this. Thanks for watching.